So Kyle Sturgis, Virginia Farm Bureau Young Farmers Chair. We actually have been talking about doing podcasts for a while, so we're going to do a video version of the podcast and maybe spin it into an audio thing here. But there was a woman going around the nation a while back that was asking people why they farm. So tell us why you farm, especially as a young farmer.
Why do I farm?
Yep.
Well, first off, to be honest with you, it's in my blood. Okay. Secondly, I farm because I've said it 100,000 times, and I'll say it 100,000 more, is because there is nothing more noble than being a farmer. I mean, granted, there are all these other professions that are very noble professions, but I think at the end of the day, you get to help feed and clothe the world, and there's a sense of gratitude, and at the end of that, it's something tangible you can see at the end of your day, fruits of your labor.
That sounds like a line, though.
I'm serious. I'm dead serious, though.
Yeah?
I'm dead serious.
You feel that way every day when you do that?
Yeah, I really do. Now, there are days that I wake up and I just go, why do I got to come into work today? Or I'm going to dread today. I'm going to hate having to deal with what I have to deal with today or do this. But at the end of the day, it's something that I like doing.
Well, so that gets me to my next question. What's your biggest challenge that you face?
Oh, geez. Well, it depends on what day it is, but probably what we talked about earlier today, I mean, it's marketing and selling of my crop, especially on the vegetable side. And like we're standing in the greenhouse now with our hydroponic lettuce and just trying to market and sell that stuff. That's the biggest challenge for me. I mean, I think that's the biggest challenge for a lot of people. I mean, we can grow this stuff all day long, just trying to find somewhere to take and sell your product. I mean,
so then what's your greatest reward?
It's when I actually sell a product and I feel like I've got a sense of accomplishment, and or you know, honestly, it probably sounds mushy and whatever, but at the end of the day, we have a farm market here too. So at the end of the day, when a customer comes in and they're extremely happy or satisfied with a quart of strawberries they bought from me that we grow here on the farm or something, at the end of the day, that really does make me feel happy.
Gotcha.
I mean, not to feel sound soft or anything. But seriously, at the end of the day, it makes me feel happy. What
about family? You've been working with generations here on this farm, and have a lot of family around you. What is that? Is that good, bad, or challenge? You know what?
Well, if you had called me or talked to me or told me that question probably, I don't know, 4 hours ago, I might have told you a different answer. But yeah, no, it has its challenges. Has a lot of challenges. At the end of the day, they're my family. I still love them, and they still love me. But I don't know. I feel like, as a matter of fact, I mean, when I worked for an actual company or an employer before coming back to the farm, it was no sir, yes sir, everything. But with family, you kind of feel a little more loose, and you know, words might slip and everything else. But at the end of the day, your family, and you find a way to come together and get it done. So
good deal. Yeah. Well, so as a young farmer, how does that make you feel? Do you feel like there's a lot of other young farmers out there? Do you feel like you're a part of a small group? Do you feel like you're part of a large group?
No, well,
as you're doing this, do you feel alone, or do you feel like there's a lot of other people trying to do the same?
I feel like there's a lot of other people in the same situation you are.
Yep.
Exact same situation. You know, like where we are physically, geographically, I guess you should say, on Eastern Shore, you know, I felt like I was isolated, and that what we had going on over here was completely different than what's going on the other side of the state. It's not. 100%, it's the exact same thing. Our issues may change, but when it comes down to the overall farming scheme as a young farmer, you're running into the same challenges. I mean, we just like marketing, selling, you know, if there's a problem on the farm as far as producing a product or something, it's the same thing. You can call people and talk to them.
So being on this little sliver of land between the ocean and the Chesapeake Bay, 30 miles away from the rest of Virginia, you feel like you're still connected to Virginia?
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, as far now in the farming community,
yeah.
When you start talking about something else, infrastructure, everything else that we have going on in the counties, 2 counties over here, a little different. But as far as farming, you know, I mean, Farm Bureau is a big part of that.
So I always laugh that you went all the way over to Ferrum College if we went outside right now, you'd see nothing but flat land out here, and you went over on the edge of the Blue Ridge Mountains to Ferrum College. Tell us a little bit about why you did that and what you thought about your experience there.
Wouldn't change it for the world. Sometimes I look back and I go, man, you know, maybe my life would be different if I went to a Virginia Tech or an NC State or somewhere like that for ag, but I wouldn't change anything, you know, going to Ferrum. I don't regret anything. Great school. I went to Ferrum because my father actually went to Ferrum when it was a 2-year school. So he went to Ferrum first and then went to Tech. So I applied to Ferrum, went to Ferrum, actually went into Ferrum not knowing what my major was going to be. At first I wanted to do fish and wildlife, and I was like, you know, I wanted to go down this path of like a wildlife biologist, like working for a park service or something, or game warden or something down that route. And then, which I'd been farming all along with my dad on the farm too, but just loved, especially being over here, loved hunting and fishing. But when I got to Ferrum, I decided that, you know, that wasn't really what I wanted to do, and I went down the ag path and wouldn't look back. And then the other place I applied to was Minot State Botano, which is in North Dakota, 2 minutes from the Canadian border. Flew up there, checked it out, found out it definitely wasn't for me because we flew up in the middle of wintertime in February, and snow was everywhere. They don't cancel class up there for snow either.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, I'm going to go to Ferrum.
Good deal. Good deal. Well, I know Ferrum's done a lot of good things with young farmers, and you've even been on some trips with the collegiate young farmers. But every time you do something with Farm Bureau, every time you sell your product, it seems like you're crossing that Chesapeake Bay. What does Chesapeake Bay mean to you?
Oh man, Chesapeake Bay means everything to me. I mean, I grew up here on the shore my whole life, except for when I went to college, but been here on the shore my whole life, hunting, fishing, I mean, swimming. God, I don't know, when I was a kid, I don't know any days that weren't spent on the beach when I was a little kid, you know. I was constantly on the beach somewhere, playing in the water. As a matter of fact, my family also grows clams in the Chesapeake Bay, so without the bay, I mean, there would be a good part of our livelihood we wouldn't have.
So how does that tie into your farming now?
Oh, well, the number one thing, obviously, is the practices that we're doing on our farm to help conserve the bay. I mean, cover crops, planting cover crops, you know, variable rate fertilizer applications, precision seeding, by putting out just the right amount of plants at the right populations and no overlaps where we need it, saving on seed, saving on crop that would take up nutrient out of the soil.
So our current governor has made the bay a big thing, and he's from over here on the shore too. At least he started here on the shore, and I know he spent a lot of time over in Norfolk. But what's the difference between your view of taking care of the bay and his view of taking care of the bay?
Oh man, I think personally, I think there's a little bit too many restrictions. I think personally, I think if you let farmers do their thing, I don't know anybody over here that does not love the Chesapeake Bay. And I think once you start requiring people to do certain things and mandating certain things, that people do not like being told what to do. A lot of people, there's so many people over here that do stuff voluntarily that just don't get counted. So there's a lot of cover crop down here that are not getting cover crop acres that are not getting counted because they're not in a certain government program. But they're doing it out of the kindness of their heart and as part of their operation because they know how important cover crops are. But they're not going out here waving a banner around going, hey, look at me, a big neon sign, I planted cover crop here, I want an award. It's just something we do because we know how important it is to Chesapeake Bay, and we look at the science. And the science behind it is sound science. It's good work that universities are doing like Virginia State and Virginia Tech. And we believe in that science. And when they tell us that this stuff works, we do it. And I think that's the biggest difference is we just don't like being told, mandating things and being like, you have to do this.
Yep. So I failed to actually put a young farmer hat on you. So I should have had that, but you've been the chair of the Young Farmers Committee, the state committee, and leading the Young Farmers Program for the last 2 years. What about that has been important to you, and what would you want to tell anybody else that might get involved in young farmers?
So to be honest with you, it's important to me because at the end of the day, it goes back to the last question. At the end of the day, if you are not here speaking out for agriculture and advocating for agriculture, you're going to get walked all over. People are going to start mandating things, and it's not because they're bad people. It's because they may not understand certain aspects of farming and how things work on a farm, and that we are actually putting out X number amount of cover crop, or we're variable rate in fertilizer and lime going onto our fields, and that we're taking care of the land in a certain way. But if you're not there telling them that, then certain things are going to get mandated on you, and you have to be able to stick up for yourself and speak for yourself. So.
Good deal. Good deal. Well, one last question then. What are you going to do next?
Keep farming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
Keep
deal.
farming.
All right. Thank you.
Yep.